December 20th, the Christian Science Monitor published an article titled, "To Protect Themselves, More American Muslim Women Give Up the Hijab." The story then describes the wrenching decision of Nazarene El-Madhan, who decided to stop wearing her hijab when she began to fear violence against her and her young son. Nasrineh is not the only one. More and more Muslim women are leaving the hijab behind as hate crimes against followers of Islam shoot up 67%. In places like France, hijab-wearing women have faced further discrimination, and their modest swimwear, the burkini, has come under intense scrutiny. With the coming administration and their anti-Muslim agenda, it is unlikely that this departure from the hijab, an important component of religious modesty for Muslim women, will slow. The American debate surrounding the hijab is one that is deeply entrenched in identity politics and modesty. From an American media perspective, the hijab-wearing woman is a very difficult woman to work with, nonetheless market. Let's take a moment and look at the stereotype of the hijab-wearing woman. She is a straight woman, probably of Middle Eastern origin. She is either a first or second generation immigrant. Her family is probably moderately financially successful, but she is a homemaker rather than a career woman. This coincides with the perceived tenets of her faith, as she is also observantly Islamic. It is important to stress here that the hijab is a very external marker of Islam, a religion that is largely vilified in Western media, thanks to terrorist cells run by the likes of Osama bin Laden and ISIS. This is the positive image of a hijab-wearing woman. Often in American media, the hijab-wearing women are female terrorists. Looking at the intersectionality of her identity, she is female, heterosexual, cisgender, middle class, colored, clings to a religious minority. In terms of advantages, though she has the advantages of her sexuality, gender identity, and class, she is still a less privileged person, and this is not helped by the long shadow her religion casts. The hijab, as stated previously, is also a marker of modesty. If we do indeed live in a post-feminist society, this does not coincide with the idea that women now harness their own sexuality for their own selves. Additionally, in a society where women are sexualized, the hijab-wearing woman does not fit in with this. She is impossible to market because she is perceived as unable to be sexualized. Though she is largely unable to be sexualized, she is not unable to be objectified. She is not literally objectified, but she is still a woman. Her body is still dismembered, cobbled together, and edited by the media, though her direct representative may not be. She is still vulnerable to violence as a result of simply being female in this culture, in addition to the violence invited by her religion and race. With these stereotypes and the effects of modesty in mind, one can see why the hijab-wearing Muslim woman has been symbolically annihilated. Some examples of her do exist in American media. Miss Marvel was announced to be a Muslim girl, though the comic artist pointedly decided not to give her a hijab. Just this past year, she has seen Nara Afai become a CoverGirl representative. She is by far the most visible hijab-wearing woman in today's media, thanks to CoverGirl's massive campaigning and brand influence. But she doesn't have a personality. She is simply a picture. She is silent. So how do we protect the hijab-wearing Muslim woman? How do we make the world understand that these women are not a stereotype, that they are not their religion? Unfortunately, though the media has symbolically annihilated these women, they are the best way to reach a large audience of people. Or are they? The best way to draw awareness to these women and incite change in their image is not in mainstream media. It is with the internet. It is something that is happening now, but it can be strengthened with the amount of content, and a new medium, YouTube, can be utilized in an internet-centered advocacy campaign for the education of people about Islam and its followers. This would likely be a multi-platform campaign that used video and image as well as written word. The educational component would be centered to the campaign, and that it helps publics understand the true motivations and reasons women wear hijabs. Next, it can be used to show the diversity of a Muslim identity and show that the hijab is not the woman. The woman is the woman, and the woman is a person, whoever she is. This approach draws directly from Posner's advocacy ideas of choosing your battles, providing the diversity you want, initiating relationships, and most importantly, being the media. Freeform media platforms like YouTube and blogs let the content creators set their own standards. This advocacy avoids taking on television and news media, which are deeply invested in the way their own business is run and less willing to change. The internet gives publics the opportunity to interact with the content and, by extension, these hijab-wearing Muslim women in a way that feels safe but also genuine. Now, this is in essence an attempt to flood the media with positive images of hijab-wearing women, something that was warned against in our reading representation in the media. However, it is also stated in the same reading that, quote, if you want to change meaning, you must participate in the exchange of meaning. This is what this advocacy would do. Inherent in all of these is the opportunity to inundate viewers and publics with images of hijab-wearing Muslim women that perpetuate more positive stereotypes than the current vilified or docile images, putting these women in danger of physical harm. The goal is to show these women for who they really are, people, just like you and me.